For a man to conquer himself is the first and noblest of all victories. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Every heart sings a song incomplete until another heart whispers back. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Only the dead have seen the end of war. Excellence is not a gift, but a skill that takes practice. We do not act rightly because we are excellent. In fact, we achieve excellence by acting rightly. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. If women are expected to do the same work as men, we must teach them the same things. I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. You can discover more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. Never discourage anyone who continually makes progress, no matter how slow. If you do not take an interest in the affairs of your government, then you are doomed to live under the rule of fools. Nothing can harm a good person, neither in life nor after death. Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. Love is a serious mental disease. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. One of the penalties of refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Reality is created by the mind. We can change our reality by changing our mind. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. When you feel grateful, you become great and eventually attract great things. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. Ignorance is the root and stem of every evil. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. There is truth in wine and children. Those who wish to sing always find a song. At the touch of a lover, everyone becomes a poet. Those who tell the stories rule society. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. Education is teaching our children to desire the right things. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. There are three classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. There is in every one of us, even those who seem to be most moderate, a type of desire that is terrible, wild, and lawless. Courage is knowing what not to fear. The beginning is the most important part of the work. You should not honor men more than truth. Good actions give strength to ourselves and inspire good actions in others. Treat your parents as you would like your children to treat you. Poverty doesn't come because of the decrease of wealth, but because of the increase of desires. When men speak ill of thee, they live so as nobody may believe them. Do not train a child to learn by force or harshness, but direct them to it by what amuses their minds, so that you may be better able to discover with accuracy the peculiar bent of the genius of each. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so those that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. No man should bring children into the world who is unwilling to persevere to the end in their nature and education. The world is boring for boring people. If a man neglects education, he walks lame to the end of his life. Bad people live to eat and drink. Virtuous people eat and drink in order to live. The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future in life. People are like dirt. They can either nourish you and help you grow as a person, or they can stunt your growth and make you wilt and die. No one is more hated than he who speaks the truth. Poets utter great and wise things which they do not themselves understand. Knowledge without justice ought to be called cunning rather than wisdom. Any man may easily do harm, but not every man can do good to another. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. False words are not only evil in themselves, but they infect the soul with evil. Love is born into every human being. It calls back the halves of our original nature together. It tries to make one out of two and heal the wound of human nature. A dog has the soul of a philosopher. The madness of love is the greatest of heaven's blessings. If you were answered with silence, this does not mean that you were not answered. To love rightly is to love what is orderly and beautiful in an educated and disciplined way. Win your friends not with empty flattery, but with sincere words of love. And what, Socrates, is the food of the soul? Surely, I said, knowledge is the food of the soul. The greatest victory is overcoming your negative thinking. The one who learns and doesn't practice is like the one who plows and never plants. Without friendship, no communication between people has value. The right question is usually more important than the right answer. You married a crazy woman if she says you're perfect. There is no harm in repeating a good thing. When the word does not strike, then the stick will not help either. Thinking, the talking of the soul with itself. Never forgive a friend who betrayed you once. He will betray you again. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. Drunkenness does not give rise to vices, it reveals them.